Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. So glad to have you with us here. Little news, LSU baseball staff news. Somebody asked me here a few weeks ago, did I expect LSU to lose any members of its coaching staff? And I said yes. And that, I guess we had heard those whispers that both Dan Fitzgerald and Jason Kelly were going to be up for jobs, and one or both were likely to get them. So that popped yesterday. So Dan Fitzgerald got the head coaching job at Kansas. So certainly not a perennial power, but still a Big 12 program. So, you have the opportunity to become a head coach in a Power 5. You take it. So congrats to Dan Fitzgerald after just 1 year at LSU as recruiting coordinator, where he helped put together the best class ever. He gets the head coaching job at Kansas. So certainly congrats to him. You hire great assistants, you're going to lose them to better opportunities to be head coaches eventually. As far as names that could replace Fitzgerald, I gave you two on AFR. I'll repeat them here. And it just makes sense that it's where they'll start. It's two guys with Louisiana ties. Two guys with Louisiana ties that are highly respected baseball people and great recruiters as well. One is Todd Butler. Todd Butler was, he's from Alexandria. He's currently an associate AD at McNeese, and he was part of Jim Wells' staff at Alabama in the 90s. So when LSU beat Alabama for the title in 97, Todd Butler was on that Bama staff. He was on Dave Van Horn's staff at Arkansas from like 2006 to 2013. A long time there in Fayetteville as they really built that thing up there. He was a big part of that. And he spent 1 year at Missouri. He became a head coach at Wichita State. And Wichita State ain't now what it was in the 90s. So he was head coach at Wichita State for a handful of years. Spent 1 year at Missouri in 2020, the COVID year, and then after COVID, whatever. So he's been at McNeese the last 2 years as a senior associate AD. Todd Butler would make a ton of sense. The other is Chad Kaye, another guy from the Hammond area. Was at Southeastern, spent I think 12 years at Southern Miss. Went to A&M last year in 2021 on Rob Childress' staff, and of course Childress got fired. So then this year he spent at South Carolina on Mark Kingston's staff. Either one of those guys, I think, would jump at the opportunity to come to LSU. I think either would be awesome hires. Both were in the mix last year, so it's pretty natural that you would start there. I'm not saying it's going to be one of those two. I'm just saying it's a pretty natural place where they're going to start this year and then see what happens beyond that. So, all right, let's say some good morning, see what y'all got. You know the drill, fire away. Questions, comments, concerns, always appreciate it. Sip of my coffee. We'll say some good mornings. David Coslin, Jason Horn, Kelly Gross, Bubba Tatum, U.S. Open Thursday, yes indeed. Kelly Presley, Brian Wynn, Dane Bergeron, Brant Roban with LSU football. Do we have positions that are going to be nasty good, or in year one for Brian Kelly, we may have struggles all over? Best positions, worst for LSU. Your best position is going to be receiver and defensive line. You're stacked at both. Talented and deep. As far as struggles, tight end could be a problem. cornerback could be a problem. They went and hit the transfer portal hard, but, with Mekhi Gardner, Jarp Bernard Converse, Sevyn Banks, you're not better than you were with Ricks and McLaughlin. You're just not. So how good are those guys? How quickly can they get up to speed? I think that's your question. Scott Fields, Ricky Lambert, what's going on? Matt Godwin, Quentin Breakbill. Hey, Dad, good morning. Truax, what's good, man? Hayden Presley, good morning. Ooh, jump over here to YouTube. Gotta share the YouTube video. My bad, y'all. Sorry about that. YouTubers, wasn't trying to forget about you over there. I got rolling talking about Dan Fitzgerald, and I forgot to share this. All right. Trivia Carter, Kirk Taylor, Wendell Norman, Spurge, what's good? Brady Smith, Craig Dugas, legit crypto looking tempting, ball. You think the dip hit bottom yet? Because I'm about to unload on some Bitcoin. Craig, I actually don't think it's hit bottom yet. I think the projections of a $14,000 Bitcoin are very legitimate. So, I think Matt Lusto asked me a couple days ago and hit 25 if I had bought the dip, and I said I think we're going to approach 20, and it hit 20 that day. And I do think we're going to go lower. I do. Fed just hiked interest rates again. We are undeniably, as a country, headed toward recession. And I think, and that happens to coincide with the Bitcoin halving cycle and the 4-year crypto winter, which is where we are right now. I mean, so you had your 2021 run up, followed by the halving cycle, so you have your pullback. So I think you'll hit new all-time highs for crypto in 2025, and then again in 2029, and that's just the way that it works. So like in 2009, 13, 17, 21. I mean, just look at the historical chart. I mean, it's the way that the creators of Bitcoin brilliantly did it. It's math. So I don't think our bottom is in yet. I don't. Larry Garner, good morning. Jerry DeLucky, what's going on? Good morning. Wrap in batches. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hope everybody's having a great start to your day. Yeah, my dad, that's right. Dad is in Kansas, helping my sister there with the 4 kiddos. Safe travels there, Pops. See Dale Bruce over his Bitcoin price bottom out. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the projections of some that we actually hit 14K, I think are legitimate. I think we will get there. And I guess that what we're testing here is that Bitcoin has never, I don't mean to make this the crypto channel, but y'all are asking. Bitcoin has never fallen below a previous cycle's all-time high. And so that's why someone like the Bitcoin maximalists will tell you, like, oh, it's not going to 14, and it's never done. I'm like, yeah, and if you follow the percent spikes historically, Bitcoin should have hit 200 or 300K in this most recent cycle. It topped out at 69K, which is still amazing, but you had a lot of price manipulation from whales and price suppression, and I think there's just so much more activity in the market now that you can have manipulation. So anyway, just my opinion. Again, that is not in any way financial advice. I think I have to say that, but whatever. Just my opinion. All right, Brant, but let's go into New Orleans in a few weeks. My wife sent me news on how much worse the crime is down there. I would imagine staying in populated areas, etc., should be okay. Brant, during the day, I think New Orleans is awesome. You get some beautiful weather, and look, it's hot right now, but you stay in some of the beautiful historic areas of New Orleans. You could stroll the French Quarter during the day. You could walk uptown, go down St. Charles. You could do all the great things in New Orleans during the day. At night, you just got to be smart. And that's like with every city, man. Like, don't go walking down, dark streets in bad neighborhoods at night. Don't take a turn down an alley in the French Quarter off of Bourbon at 2 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like that sort of stuff. But yeah, you're fine. You'll be fine, man. Be smart, do your ride share if that's what you're going to do. Just be mindful of it. So, game coins. Sorry, Dan. I said that his question was about game coins. I should have done a separate stream just for crypto. Jeff McKith and Darren Reeves. So, Dale, like obviously, I can't project, right? But the thing that I'll tell you, that I tell everybody, is the thing that most people don't understand or don't know is that Gamecoin is a BEP20 token. Okay, what that means, when you bought Gamecoin, right? You had to buy Binance and swap it for Gamecoin. So when you swapped that Binance for Gamecoin, that Binance coin went into a liquidity wallet. All right, so that Binance becomes part of Gamecoin's liquidity. So in a very real sense, the price of Binance directly impacts the price of Gamecoin, because that Binance coin is held in a liquidity wallet. So in November at its peak, Binance coin was worth $680 per coin, and Gamecoin holds about 5,000 Binance coin in its liquidity wallet. Right now, Binance is at $220. So you're talking about a difference of $460 per Binance coin that it's come down. So when Binance, which is the fourth largest crypto, when Binance rebounds, which it will because it's what crypto does, just getting back to its previous high, that's $2.25 million in liquidity back into Gamecoin. That alone, if nobody else buys Gamecoin, just Binance going back, rebounding to its previous high, just that will probably bring the price of Gamecoin $2.25 million in liquidity, would bring the price of Gamecoin certainly over a penny, probably close to 2 pennies again, with nobody else buying Gamecoin. And that's not even to account for the number of wallets that are set up, the platform, getting ready to launch. Of course, there's tons of excitement. Demario Davis was in, I think I told you this, Demario Davis is Gamecoin ambassador. He's been so awesome to work with. He said, anything y'all need, let me know. We had 3 board members last Thursday, the overtime 7-on-7 championship. Demario Davis has a team called Devoted Dreamers. So they were out in Vegas, and there was 150 of the best 7-on-7 players in the country, NFL guys, everything. And they invited Gamecoin to come and make a presentation about crypto, NIL, Gamecoin. Like, I think 50 of the kids, 50 of the 150 set up wallets that day. At Trust Wallets there at the Overtime Challenge. So it's coming, man. It's going to be really good. It's just you're in the middle of a crypto winter. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't know anything about crypto, it's good to read up on it and why what's happening now is happening. And it just so happens to coincide with what's happening right now in our country. So anyway, let's see. Jared DeLucky, what's going on? Rapping Batches, Tim Gotro. Man, y'all are quiet this morning, no questions. Game 6 of the NBA Finals is also tonight. We may cut this short, y'all, if y'all don't have anything. Y'all fire away with questions if you got them. I know not everybody comes in here, wanting to know about crypto all the time, but a lot of you were asking questions about it. So fire away with questions if you got them. Game 6 of the NBA Finals is tonight. I do think we're headed for a Game 7. I do think that Boston will win it on its home floor tonight. Force a Game 7. They'll shift back out west, and I think Golden State will win it in 7. Which I think that's what I thought from the beginning, but I told you I had like zero confidence in that pick. I think these are 2 really good teams, evenly matched, stylistically, really good defensive teams. So I just went with Golden State experience and in the finals, and also with home court advantage. If Boston had home court advantage, I might have picked Boston in the series. But by the way, also, if y'all are not listening to Otter locks at the end of AFR. You need to be. Otter has been on fire with his MLB picks. And then Colucci yesterday gave you the Avalanche in game 1 of the finals, which they won in overtime. So I am trying to tell you what to do, but if you do wager, if you sports bet, of course, would love it if you supported DraftKings, the DraftKings Sportsbook. But if you sports bet, you better be listening to Otter Locks, man. They are just giving away. They're just giving away money on Otter Locks and then on Jimmy's show. Let's see. Bill Schmid, Cale Reynolds, wasn't Fitzgerald mostly here for recruiting purposes? Did he also coach infielders? So I've seen that. People are like, well, he coach infielders, good riddance. I'm like, okay, come on. So first of all, as part of his title, yeah, but he's recruiting coordinator. They all pull multiple roles, right? I mean, the one exception is when you're Jason Kelly or the pitching coach, you handle pitchers, right? Excuse me. I've had some people ask, would they bring back Nolan Cain? And I mean, remember, he could have retained Nolan Cain last year. So no, I don't think that's the direction that they're going to go. And Cain and A&M are in the College World Series, so I don't think that's going to happen. I think Nolan Cain's next move will be as a head coach. I think he'll get a head coaching opportunity at a small school. Similar to what Will Davis did, right? Will Davis got his head coaching opportunity at Lamar. You see that sometimes. Guys will go get their first head coaching opportunity at a smaller school. If they win, they get a better opportunity. And there's plenty, right? They're like, not to say that any of these jobs are open, but like a Southeastern or like where Reiser is or McNeese, where Justin Hill is. You get those opportunities, and you try to do well and get a better job from there. But yes, Cale, to answer your question, Fitzgerald was recruiting coordinator and helped put together literally the highest rated class ever. Charlie Cavell, good morning. Good morning. Also, last day of Saints minicamp today. So, did y'all see the story about Marcus Davenport? I mean, God bless. He's been an injury-prone player, and it stinks because when he's been on the field, he's been awesome and super productive. He just hasn't really been able to stay on the field. Apparently, he had part of his pinky amputated and had 2 more shoulder surgeries this offseason. Like, my goodness, that guy is like stitched together right now with bubble gum and duct tape. Just crazy. What is that? So hopefully this team gets healthy in time for camp and then start of the season. All right, a couple more here. CAD, in terms of SEC scheduling, wouldn't getting rid of permanent opponents make it less a headache? What's the value in keeping them? Yes, absolutely it would. 100% it would. That would make so much sense if they got rid of permanent opponents. But you have certain teams in the league that are committed to their traditional rivalries. Bama, Tennessee, Bama, Auburn, Georgia, Auburn, Georgia, Florida. And when you have the Egg Bowl, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, in-state matchup. When you have enough teams in the league that want to preserve those, and when everybody gets a vote, there's more teams that want to preserve them than those that don't care, which is why you're going to maintain them. But the tricky part is when you've had divisions for all these years. For example, Bama and Auburn played every year because they were in the same division. And then Bama, Tennessee became permanent, so you maintain that. Like Auburn, Georgia became permanent, so you maintain that. But that scheduling format is stupid. Well, now you're dropping divisions. You have teams with multiple games they want to preserve, like Iron Bowl and Bama, Tennessee. Well, how do you do that if you don't have permanent opponents? So you have to have multiples. That's why they're looking at the 3-6, 3 permanents, 6 rotating. And that's better than what you have now because it's it would allow you to play every team in the league in a 2-year cycle, and any player that stayed 4 years would play at every venue in the league. That's more of a representative schedule. Todd Ohms, how about the Braves? 14 in a row. Yep, bet them again yesterday, man. They just kind of stumbled out of the gate to give everybody else a chance to get a little bit of a head start, right? Defending champs are playing well, man. Hurricane season, a rival is not when one team wins 13 out of 15 games. Well, it's one-sided, no doubt. I mean, I presume that you're talking about Tennessee, Bama, and I'm with you. Preserving that game stupid. If I'm Tennessee, why do I want to play Alabama and Georgia every year? Or Alabama, so that's the other one. It's Tennessee and Florida is the one they want to play every year. I'm like, if I'm Tennessee, why do I want to play Alabama and Florida every year? Like, get me more Mississippi State and Kentucky in my life. You know what I mean? Whatever. Brant, a lot of my Tennessee friends are heading to Baton Rouge for the game. Told them they'll experience nothing like it. Tailgating night game. Hope we can win that one. I'll catch hell if you two wins. I was talking to some Tennessee people this week. I mean, obviously with all my comments on Tennessee baseball, I kind of shifted to talk a little football. And they lost a bunch off of last year's team. They're maybe not super deep, which is a concern for them. But they got a really good quarterback in Hendon Hooker. There's pretty good skill guys as well. So I think the key to that one, Brant, is going to be how quickly does Matt House's defense scale up? Because if they're up for the challenge, you know, athletically to withstand what Tennessee is going to bring offensively, I think LSU will be fine in that game. But that could end up being a 42-38 type game, and you bite your fingernails at the end, just hoping you have the ball last. Let's see, New Douglas. We've listened to Les Miles and Edo at media days over the years. How do you think Brian Kelly will handle media days? Finally, Coach will speak sense. Yeah, man, I think he'll do great. He's pretty stately, right? Presidential, kind of. That's a good way to describe him. So I think media days, and I also don't think he's going to get asked anything that he hasn't answered already. He'll get asked about the dancing videos. He'll get asked about the family. He'll get asked about the fit in Louisiana. He'll get asked about leaving Notre Dame, you know, with a playoff on the line. It's all stuff he's been asked before, you know. So then the football stuff becomes easy to answer. So yeah, I think Brian Kelly will be fine. I think there will be interest in Brian Kelly. His first meeting, there's always interest in the new coaches. It's just the way it goes. There's always interest in seeing the new guys and how they fare. At media days. So it'll be the first time for Napier at Florida, although Napier just isn't the name on the marquee that Brian Kelly is, at least not yet. So Brian Kelly's going to be a big draw at media days. There's no doubt. But there's going to be more interest around Jimbo Saban. Lane Kiffin will always be, you know, a big draw. So Charlie Cavell, Sam Burns tees off around noon today at the U.S. Open. Excited to see Sam Burns, man. He's been hot lately. Hopefully he can have a good week over there. All right, a couple of more. As always, shout out to Brock, y'all. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Save the date, August 6th. Brock Rock and Wine. They will have food, wine, live music, live and silent auction items at Tiger Stadium, South Stadium Club. So buy your tickets now at brortho.com, brortho.com. Of course, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Kirk, hype me up on Brock Rock and Wine. Bro, you got over 25 wine stations, food from some of the best restaurants in town, live and silent auction items. If nothing else, it's an opportunity to go up in the South Stadium Club where you will have both the inside and outside access. So you can go into the seating area and look at Tiger Stadium from the South Stadium Club. It's a pretty awesome setting, man. And where you're elevated, you could see the whole campus. You could see into downtown. You see the river to your left. it's pretty cool. But like the location itself is a reason for a lot of people to go this year. Robert Potts, for those of us not season ticket holders, where would you recommend getting tickets for Tennessee LSU this fall? Haven't been to a game in years coming out of state. Yeah, go to StubHub. Let's go to StubHub. CD Deuce interview with Straight Fire. Brian Ashcraft, what's going on? All right, y'all, I think we are done. I got to bounce, 7:50. So thank y'all so much for watching as always. LSU Daily coming up today, AFR at 3. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you. Peace. Ooh, what was that?